Hi everyone, today we're going to make an easy oozing volcano. It's pretty easy, but I do recommend some help from an adult. But there's no mess, so first we're going to need some scissors, baking soda or baking powder. If you use baking powder, you'll need a lot more. I use baking soda, but you can do either or. Some soap, a spoon, vinegar, an empty water bottle, and some tape. I use this tape, but if you have masking tape or any stronger kind of tape, it'll work a lot better. But you can use this if that's all you have. And some paper bags or newspaper. I use paper bags, they're stronger, but you can use newspaper as well. And a large piece of cardboard. This will be the base of what you're gonna put everything on top of. And some food dye, red food dye. It's optional, you can do whatever color you want, or you can do no color at all. So the first thing that we're gonna do is construct the actual volcano. So the first step is to cut your empty water bottle in half. We're only gonna need the bottom part of the water bottle, so you can throw out that top part after you're done. The next thing you're gonna do is take out a pretty big piece of paper, whether it's newspaper or a piece of a brown paper bag, and using the cut up piece of cup that you just did, just draw a circle into the paper. So after you complete the circle, all you want to do is fold the piece of paper in half, and then using the scissors, you want to cut the hole like that size. So like you're gonna see here, we're gonna cut a hole right there and then just start the hole from where we just did that. So you just do a little circle. And then you want to take the cup that we just cut and kind of shove it into the hole just like that, and then tape the cup onto the paper so that it stays that way. If you have stronger tape, that would be a lot better, but we're just using Scotch tape and we got it to work. It might take a couple tries to shove that cup in there. Don't be afraid of ripping the paper. You don't want to rip it too much, but just make sure that the cup is nice and snug in that hole. So for the next step, all we have to do is rip up the paper, whatever paper you have, newspaper or paper bag, and we just rip it up and crumple the pieces into a ball about this size. The ball shouldn't be any taller than that piece of cup that we just cut up. And so what we do with the balls is we tape them to the piece of paper that the cup is taped to, just like this. So like I said, you don't want those balls to be much taller than the cup. And so we just want to use our tape to make sure they're pretty snug on there. Again, if you have better tape than Scotch tape, it'll be really helpful. This was kind of tricky to do, but we were able to get it to work. And so you just do this 4 times and you'll have 4 balls next to the cup, just like that. And now we're just gonna flip over the whole thing very carefully. And then once we have it flipped over, we're gonna wanna tape the paper down to the big piece of cardboard. So this was pretty tricky just because our tape wasn't that strong. You just wanna make sure that that cup stays fastened into the smaller piece of paper. And so yeah, it took us a while to get this all taped down, but after this is done, this will be the volcano. As you can see here, we thought it was more helpful if we had one person holding down the rest of it while somebody else went around the sides and taped it. And so yeah, again, if you have stronger tape than Scotch tape, definitely use that. but if you put enough tape on there, we got it to work. So and so the finished product doesn't have to be perfect. You'll see it right here. It's not perfect, but this is what it is. You can paint it if you want, but we just left it as it is. So step 2 is making the lava. So now would be the time to get out your vinegar, dish soap, some water. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is do 2 tablespoons of vinegar. We actually ended up needing more vinegar later on, but you might not. So just keep the vinegar out. But for now, just start off with 2 tablespoons and just put that in a cup. In the same cup, you're gonna wanna put 2 tablespoons of water. Finally, just put 2 tablespoons of dish soap. It can be probably any kind of soap, but we use dish soap. So now we're going to want to stir it all up. This would be the time to add dye if you're going to. You can kind of see little clumps in ours. That's just because we accidentally added gel dye. But as long as it's just any type of food coloring, it should work. Ours still worked, so yeah. So we're almost done. We just want to pour that solution right into the plastic cup that we made before. And the next step is to carry it into the shower or bathtub or outside, because we don't know how messy it's gonna get. Ours didn't get too messy, but yeah. So now we just add the baking soda right in there. That will cause the reaction. As you can see, ours didn't cause that much of a reaction right away. It caused a little bit of it, but we noticed that it wasn't really doing that, oozing, exploding effect that we wanted to happen. So we decided to add some more vinegar, and we noticed that the more vinegar that we added, the quicker the reaction would go. So you're gonna want to play with the recipe a little bit. You may find that when you add more vinegar, it'll happen quicker. When you add more baking soda, it'll happen quicker. But either way, you're gonna get it to work, don't worry. And so this was the cool oozing reaction we were finally waiting for. Let me explain how it works. So mixing baking soda, a base, with vinegar, which contains acetic acid, causes a rapid chemical reaction that produces lots of carbon dioxide gas. Tiny bubbles of this gas become trapped in the dishwashing liquid in your lava mixture. This creates a foam that takes up much more space than the liquid ingredients, so it all comes frothing out of the mouth of the volcano and trickles down the sides. Real lava has tiny bubbles of carbon dioxide in it too, so this lava is a replica of real-life lava. I hope you got a super cool explosion out of your volcano, and thank you for watching!